Good evening, welcome back. We're here in Virtual Pool 4 online, and we're back for another match, a big match, biggest match of the tournament so far it should be, between Albinario from Sweden and Mal from England, and it's a round 4 match in the VP4 World Series of Pool 9-ball championships. Now, there has been some activity during this afternoon. First of all, let's get the excuse out of the way. There was a match earlier this afternoon. In fact, there was 2 matches. The first one I knew about. The second one either was arranged late or I missed it. Either or I didn't get it. But we'll cover the first result. The first result is in the bottom half of the draw, and Mr. Bill was playing Larry. Now, I think my reputation precedes me as far as jinxing people go, especially Larry, because that match started at 1 PM this afternoon, and unfortunately, although I had every intention to cover it, I thought I'd be home from work. Sunday's not usually that busy, but of course today it was busy, and I actually didn't leave work until after 1 o'clock this afternoon. Good evening, Cobra. And so when I got home, apart from the fact I was knackered, I had to get a quick cup of coffee, and when I dropped in the room, Larry was 9 racks to 6 up against Bill, and then it went downhill from there. Bill managed to get it back all square, and then of course he took the lead, and I don't think he relinquished the lead after that, because I never saw the end of it. But you can see the result. Good evening to Bedhead. Bill has gone through by 15 racks to 12, and he has also arranged a belated happy birthday run out, Rob. Good evening or good afternoon. Bill's in a hurry because he's also arranged his next match against Cheeky Chico. Now, the bad news for that one as well is that it is arranged for tomorrow afternoon at 1, and once again I'll probably be still at work in fact I definitely will be still at work at that time, so I won't be able to cover that one either. And that is the next one-loss side match between Bill and Cheeky Chico, 1 PM British Summer Time, which would be, what, 6? I'm losing track here, Matt. Anyway, it'd be early in the morning, East Coast time. And then there's another match that was played this afternoon, and that, well, it went all the way between Mooncake and Acero. Now, that match I didn't know about. Bill sent me a message telling me it was about to start, but I was already in a game with someone, and so I've missed that one, and it looked as if it had been worth getting. Went all the way to the final rack. Mooncake came through, and so he's through to the next round of the one-loss side. Meanwhile, at the winner's side, we have the match we're waiting on tonight. Now, again, these two players, neither of the two of them are in the lobby any length of time before the match starts. They just turn up and come into the room and play, so neither of them are here unless they have arrived in between me gibbering on here. So this match, of course, on the winner's side, round 4, race to 18, alternate break, they'll lag for break, no jump cues, jump shots are allowed. Now, the winner of this match will go through to round 5, and Cobra is waiting for the winner of that match. Now, down in the bottom half of the draw, if we look down here, Bedhead has gone through in that match with Billy Bigrigger, so Bedhead's got a bit of a wait, so he'll then play, I believe, if I've got my facts right, he'll play the winner of the Cobra and whoever wins this match, tonight's match, if you know what I mean. So the deadline for Bedhead's next match is September the 7th or the 2nd, whatever that says up there. Let me have a look. It's the 2nd, so there's quite a while. There's no need to rush. He'll have plenty of time before that match is due. And now we have about 2 minutes to go. I don't think, from what I've seen on this one-loss side, I think the one-loss side won't be able to advance very far until somebody else moves across. Spectre Dawn lies in wait for the winner between Snake Eyes and Jose. The top half there, Semi-Pro has gone through against Bankster quite comfortably, 15 racks to 5. And then further down, that match today, Mooncake has gone through against Acero. And so Mooncake will be waiting for somebody to come over from that winner's side, and then things will be able to advance. So Billy Big Rigger is sitting well through the draw, so again he's got a bit of a wait until August the 29th. Right, so Albinario has arrived. Good evening everybody, good evening Mark. Good evening, I think that's everybody so far. Good evening to Bill. So Albie's arrived. What time is it? Well, we're knocking on the door. I don't see Mal. I don't see him anywhere in the list. But presumably he's just going to drop in and we will get underway, hopefully. Well, who's going to call this one 18-15 to Albie? Oh, well, I think that's generous to Albie, giving him 3 racks. Of course, it's a bit of a lottery. Good evening to Hazad, reclining in the sun in Spain. Welcome. So, Albie will be getting into the room. And still no sign of Mal. So, of course, now the clock ticks down. As soon as that room goes up, we're now into the 10-minute countdown for Mal to appear. Well, this will be a big disappointment, won't it? Now, we'll give it another 2 minutes and then I'll maybe tab out to Facebook, or somebody else can tab out to Facebook and try and get a hold of him. See what's going on. Whether he's forgotten about it, which would be strange. Good evening to Spectre. Has anybody got Mal as a contact on Facebook? Because if you don't, I'll tab out to find out if he's aware of what's going on. Well, that's now 3 minutes gone. Now, I presume from the responses that the answer to that question I asked about contact with Mal on Facebook, the answer is no. Right, okay, Bill. Cheers for that. Right, Mal's arrived. Let's get in. Cloth colour should be fine. Both players are in. And here we go with the lag. He said he forgot. I could well believe it. This looks pretty close. Oh well, I would have, if I was the referee, I would have got him to relag that. But anyway, Mal has won it. And more often than not, it is a dry break. Albinario again with a dodgy cut in the one ball. But looks as if he's got a clean path. Well, he's putting big draw on this. I wonder what he's trying to do here, because I mean, to me he can miss the 8 ball and go down off the rail and back into the table. Well, he's trying to spin it round with inside left, and he's gone all over the place there. He could have hit. I think he could have hit that plain ball and just let it run down to the rail and up. He obviously saw it different from the way I saw it, and he's left it awkward. That needs to hold up, and he's gone too far. So he can see the left edge of the 3 ball. Trying to hide behind the 5, and the weight looks reasonably good. Not a bad outcome. Mal gets the kick. It goes into the sort of no man's land zone. Not a bad outcome either. And that will do as well, because it's married up with the 7 ball. It's not going anywhere there. And Mal's going to try and probably just tickle past the 7. This could... He has to get this right, because if it splits the 7... Now, he looks as if he's doing something different here. He's not trying to cut this. It's far too close to do anything with a 3 and a 7. Or at least it looks like that to me. Yeah, see, he split the 7, and that's not the way I would have played it. I would have played it a lot more gentle, and it's opened the table for Albinario. Quick check of my little doodle. That's working. So a loose safety by Mal should be costing him the rack. Again, the little stun, but the pace is good enough just for the cue ball to track forward a couple of inches to get the line on that 8 ball. So Albinario against the break wins the first rack. And you can mark that down as one error for Mal. Albinario continuing the trend. 2 breaks in the match so far, 2 dry breaks, and a difficult 1 ball. Again, I don't know whether Mal's lining up a pot here, but it's so easy to get a half decent safety off this 1 ball, up by the 9 and the 8. He hasn't quite got there. He needed to take a better line off that 1 ball to track that cue ball in amongst those on the top side of the 9, the 6 and the 3. Albinario may well be going for the cut, and he's misjudged it. This is what I say about distance. There's proof if ever you need it, that if you get the distance, believe me, it makes thin edges so much more difficult. Albinario went for the pot there. He'd probably say he didn't, but he did go for the pot. And that is a good reply from Mal. Okay, it isn't a problem to hit the 1, because he can spin off the rail if he needs to. But that is a good shot from distance. That's an excellent shot from Albinario. And now he's got work ahead of him, because the 4 ball is a stumbling block. It's the one that could cause a problem. The 8 ball, where it is not bad, because again, the 9 ball's adjacent to it, so that's always good to have the last 2 balls close to one another, so you don't have to travel too far to get there. But Albie's found a line to get in on that 4 ball. Now if he just runs through, he'll go into the gap between the 5 and 7, but he doesn't want to run through low, because he'll then end up in that no-go area that I talk about. Going behind the ball. Good evening to Semi-Pro. And he's got the weight perfect. So the shot now will be getting from that 6 to the 7 to get good on the 7. And this is going to go straight. So no option but the big draw. But a good stun draw will bring him up to the middle pocket. You don't want to overhit these. You see, that's a controlled draw. That's the one that everybody needs to learn. Get that cue ball under control a lot better with the power control, as well as the reduced draw, so you don't get that fizz in the cue ball. Good evening to Spectre Dawn. And that's going to finish anything but straight. And he's okay. Now, how tight is it? Well, it's okay. A couple of millimetres to work with there. It's a sure-footed start by Albinario. That excellent, very thin cut that he had. I mean, it was a very good safety that Mal played. But the very thin cut got Albinario in. And he's off to a 2-0 lead. So this is the 3rd rack. And like the previous ones, it's bone dry. Bone dry but safe, I think. Albinario looking for the push out. Now, this is a difficult one, because if he plays the top side of the 1 ball up there, Mal should be able to get away from the 1. Maybe not so much where that cue ball's finished. It's not a bad effort, but Mal can still come across the table and tuck the 1 into the 7 and the 5. And now Mal's got control. Again, it's not difficult to hit the 1. I don't think Albinario can avoid bringing things into play here and opening it up. Well, I had a brilliant sleep last night. I think it's the first time in weeks that I haven't had to get up to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And when I woke, and I mean, the alarm woke me up this morning. And I was in the middle of a dream and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I'll tell you what it was. I've remembered now. For some strange reason, now I don't know whether it's a premonition, and there'll be only certain people that are watching will know who I'm talking about. But I had a dream that I was watching Crosby, Stills and Nash. I don't know why, and I don't know why it's sometimes it feels like a premonition of something. But I actually was watching Crosby, Stills and Nash. They had reunited and they were having a concert or something, and I was at it. I don't know what it was about other than that. But that's when I woke up, and I had a great sleep. Just a pity when I woke up I felt as if I could have done with another 2 hours sleep. And that was at 4 o'clock this morning when I had to get up to go to work. So bear that in mind. I've had a dream about Crosby, Stills and Nash. Just watch the news over the next few days and see what happens. Because I sometimes get premonition dreams. Well, Albinario went for the kick. He's got the bit of good fortune needed. Kicking the 2 in. Now does he run for cover or does he try to reverse bank that? It looks awful thin if he's thinking of cutting that into the pocket. I mean, that is... He's gone for the cut, but to me that was never on. That was way too thin. That's pushing the boat well out. And it's a way to just end up dishing out racks to your opponent, because Albinario's got plenty of room. The only thing he needs to be careful with is making sure he doesn't get near the middle pocket. But Albinario's well capable of tidying this up for a 3-0 lead. Again, if you've watched the matches, I think Billy Bigrigger was the one that I picked out the other night, where Billy Bigrigger hasn't quite got the weight of shot dialed in. And if you look at Albinario, he's doing everything right. You know, the weight of shot is good because he's got every faith in the control of the weight of shot by having his mouse settings right. And if only other players would listen to what I'm saying and watch to see what's happening here and go compare the difference, you've got players hitting far too heavy a shot and not the best of control. And if you want to be consistent, then that's the thing that's probably the most important that you have to get sorted out. Get your mouse sorted. Get that control. Be confident in playing a shot. Because when you've got a mouse where it's not dialed in and you start hitting things too heavy and you think, oh, well, what am I doing wrong? It's because you haven't spent the time getting it right. You get it right, you'll be a far better player. Or at least it's a good basis to start being a better player. But if you can't be bothered doing that, then you'll only ever be what you are, and that'll be mediocre for the most part. Yes, you can pot a ball, but can you pot a ball and get onto the next ball on a regular basis? Probably not. Can you get shape on a regular basis? More than likely not. Well, it's important now that Mal finds a way to get into this fast, but he's not going to do much from there. He needs to hope that stays to the rail. Good evening to Tommy. And welcome to any other silent viewers that are sitting there hiding in the corner. You're welcome to join the chat. We've had one call on a score, and that was 18-15 to Albinario, and I've forgotten already who called the score. Who was that called that result? Because my memory's gone. Plus the fact I can't see it in the chat anymore. It's scrolled up. Oh, it was Cobra. No, so Cobra's called it 3 racks to the good for Albinario. Well, he started off okay. He's got the 3 racks on the board. Again, another perfectly weighted shot. And he might, if anything, he might be just a bit too straight. In fact, he's the wrong side of the 4. That's the only slight worry, but he can easily deal with that. He can draw to the rail. This long rail that we're looking at, he's looking to go forward. He thinks he's got plenty of room to squeeze past the 8. I can't see where the problem's going to be here. He's just a bit straight in the 6. And he doesn't want to take liberties, so he may well jack up and kill it stone dead. Like that. A little delicate feather in the 7. Well, Mal's, he's got work to do, shall we say. We don't know how good he's playing because we haven't seen him. And Albinario will be quite content to keep that situation going. He's 4-0 up. And Mal has the break and desperate for a ball and a shot. And the 4 ball looked in the hole, decided against it, and look at the table. And this is going to be a headache for Mal because Albinario's sitting on the 1, 2's in play. 3's in the left side rail. Well, it's not on the rail, plenty of room off it. And well, the problem ball, shall we say, is a 7 ball if it's going to be an issue. Well, that's all very well, semi-pro, but you've got to be at the table to be able to. You've got to be at the table to actually pot balls, and that's the cruel thing about this game. And any billiard game or any pool game, Mal's sitting there twiddling his thumbs, not had a sniff. We all know what he can do. He's just not had a look in at all, so you can't judge. You can't say, "Oh, Mal played bad." You can't say that, but because he's not had a chance to settle in. But I'll tell you what, though, when he does get a chance, he's going to have to deliver, and he needs the help of getting a ball in the break. He's not had any luck there. Is that going to get there? Oh, that is, well, that, shall we call that dead weight? If ever you're going to see dead weight. And in that 5 ball, had a sandwich and a cup of tea before it decided it was going to drop in. Well, this is the toughie, because the 6 is not only really awkward, the 7 is in a very narrow window. But again, full of confidence, right on the nail, and out behind the 9 for that 8 ball into the middle. Good evening to Parliament. And when we talk about this alternate break and saying that, you know, Mal's in a position where he needs some help from Albinario, and he's probably about the stingiest player, apart from Cobra, in VP4. He's giving you nothing. He's going to have to get down on his hands and knees to get something out of Albinario, at least at the moment. So Albinario breaks off in rack number 6. He's got a ball, and if he hasn't got a shot, he's just going to tuck behind that 3, or is he going to try and knock it in off the 5? Can he get to it? No, he's just trying to keep it tight. And, well, he's just got the edge of that 3. And this is all Mal has had in this game so far. Looking out from behind a ball. Not a bad kick. Now Albinario looking to skim, and if he misses the 3 and the 8, he can try it. Well, he skimmed it thin. He wasn't aiming to get up there. He was just aiming to leave that 7 as a blocker. That's again a good result. But if Albi can control the cue ball, he can try and hold it behind a 5 and 6 here. But this one ball is so close to the rail, it's not easy to control. You're just trying to drag the pace of it. Again, it's a good result though. I mean, Mal's got an edge. I mean, is he going to be desperate enough to try? Yeah, he's had a blast. He might get lucky here if it hangs on. No. And Albinario, of course, can see the edge. Mal's just having a go to try and get into the game, to try and get started and hit a few balls. Well, the way this is going so far, Mal will be kicking himself that he did get a reminder that his match was on tonight. He might have been better staying watching the telly or whatever he was doing, because this don't look too good at the moment for him. Now, he would have liked to have been straighter on this 7. This is why he's ended up playing the 8 at a longer distance. But just anywhere into the middle of the table will do. And I think the break stays with Albinario here, does it not? No, it doesn't. That shows you how much I'm paying attention. Well, here we go. Mal to break in rack number 7. Looking for any sort of bit of running. Well, he's got the first part out of the way, but look at where the 1 ball's finished. Stuck in the bottom rail, and probably try and nudge that 7 in. Needs a bit of luck though, and he hasn't got it, because I don't think he can get to that 1 from there. He can certainly hit the 1, but well, no, he's not cutting that in from there. So Albinario dead straight, looking if he's lining up this combo here. played nice and sweet. And probably, if he's got enough room, get up there for the 2-9 combo. Let's have a look and see what this line is. It's a bit straightish. He may well just play down for the 2 on this left side of the 9. Yeah. 5 ball goes into the 9 ball pocket anyway, so there's no worries there. There's plenty of room past it. Then again, there isn't when you look at it. It's not until you get down and you look and you see that is very tight. So from here it looks fine until you go up table and have a look. So this isn't in the bag yet here for Albinario. He's going to have to smash this 4 in, stunt to the rail just above the pocket, and get back over to that right side. Oh, that's perfect if he doesn't hook himself. That'll do very nicely indeed. That was not an easy shot to execute. Got himself a bit tight to the rail, but loads of room. And he ain't making a mistake. Simple as that. That's how you keep your opponent cold. And, you know, that's playing at, you know, world-class level in terms of the pros do in real life. They don't miss the pros in real life. If a ball is on and they can see it, you know, 99 times out of 100 they're going to pot it. And Albinario's strike rate at the moment is extremely high. Is Mal going to get a break here? Albinario's broke. He's dry. And Mal, once again, no shot. Might try and nudge the 3 in with a little draw. And this is really sort of desperation just to get a ball in a hole. And try and stay at the table. And he's scuppered now. 6 balls a blocker. And he's maybe at a loss to wonder how he's going to get a start in this match. You tried the chastity belt. What the hell's that about? Or the utility belt. Well, Albinario has potted a 1. He's got no shot in the 2. And he's got not much room to manoeuvre in terms of playing a safety shot here. Gone for the bank. Misses it. And the 1 ball, sorry, the 2 ball goes safe. And Mal's not getting nothing. Now is that... No, he can't get to it to pot it. He's just trying to nip it around the corner, I think, and try and keep the cue ball there. He has to make sure it avoids the 4. And he's run into the 4, and that was always going to be the issue there. And Mal has left it a bit short in the 4, but he's got a chance to get himself on the board. And when you consider that's his first real good opportunity in 8 racks. Oh, it's a wee bit short. So finally, the mistake with Albinario's safety cost him the rack, and Mal is off the mark with the break in rack number 9, and the 3 ball has gone in, and he can see the 1, and everything's on, and this is probably the toughest shot of the rack, potting this 1 and getting reasonably good in the 2, and this is a testy 1 here. We played it well. He needs to hold up though, and I think he's gone pear-shaped here. Yeah, he's blocked out, and well, the spin he had in the cue ball kept it out the pocket. And Albinario hasn't got a really inviting shot here. Just looking to tuck away the cue ball, and a good safety. Not difficult to go up and down and hit the 4, but of course you've got your fingers crossed when you play it. You just hit and hope, and that will do. A little bit of the run in there for Mal, but immediately put back into the hole. Almost a scratch, and the 4 ball goes, and Albinario looks as if he's off and running again. Good evening to Cheeky Chico. Well, we've got a few viewers in tonight. Yes, it has, but only from the point of view that Mal's had nothing other than 1 error from Albinario that cost him the rack, and that big error there from Albi that's gifted Mal this rack. And things like that are all that Mal can work with to try and just get a footing into this match, and Albinario's assisted him in the last 2 racks. So, trailing by 5, but he's in the game now. Albinario going for the centre break where the cue balls appeared, and that worked for him. The only thing that hasn't worked is the 1 and 2's gone, the 8's gone, and the 3 ball is hiding away behind the 7. Now is he going to try, I mean this is extremely thin. He's just trying to tuck it away, but he's too heavy. He's too heavy. And that's a 4-9 combo if Mal can get any good control in the cue ball. It needs to bounce. Well, it's not straight that he would like, but he should get this in. For a quick 3 racks from Mal. So there has been 3 errors by Albinario in the last 3 racks that have cost him, and that's not part of the plan from Albinario, because that's the encouragement that Mal needs. Is, as I say, you know, Mal can't do anything unless he gets an assistance from Albinario, and Albinario's fallen into the trap, hook, line and sinker. He's given him 3 chances there, and there are 3 racks on the board now. So Albinario wants to shake himself down, or this will turn bad for him. He was doing everything right, and then he's just got a wee bit loose. Well, that's not a great shot either, because the double kiss has ruined the safety. And Mal's away again, because this is not a difficult two. And he needs to just make sure the pace is right to still see the three. And he's okay. Well, it still goes down as a safety error. It's 4 in a row from Albinario, and it's 4 racks in a row for Mal because of it. And of course the other thing is, if Mal's break starts working, the thing that will ruin it for him is the fact that it's alternate break. You just can't get into that rhythm of getting a ball and running. You can only get that one shot at it each time. And Albinario has come up dry, but look at the state of this table here. I mean, this is this is really horrible and ugly down this bottom corner. So it's going to be a tactical battle here. Each player trying to find a way to get down in amongst these balls here to hide away. The only value of potting that one is to just put your opponent in deep trouble on the two. Well, Albie's got the bank, and now he's hooked in the two. And Mal, well, if Albinario plays this gentle and leaves the cue ball and the two ball adjacent to one another, well, that's not really a bad effort, is it? It's not bad at all. I think Mal can cut that 8 though. He can brush the 2 onto the 8 and cut it, but he's not interested. Well, I think he potted the 1 really hoping that he could at least see some of the 2 to be able to do something with it, and then he ended up hooked. See, the only value in potting the 1 was to get control of the table. But the 2's hidden away there. You know, you're really going to find it difficult to get a sight in the 2. So that's ended up being a deliberate foul there by Albinario, unless he's gone colourblind, because he's pushed the 4 up the table, given Mal ball in hand, and this is almost gone bad there. Well, that 9 ball has just travelled and travelled. That 3 will go. It's got to be gentle. Yeah, well, the 4 balls, that's the one way to pot the 3. The 3 balls gone to the rail. It's come out, it's chipped to 4, and the 4's helped it in the hole, and Mal will take that and run with it. He'll take anything he can get at the moment. But, well, I don't know what Albie was thinking there, pushing the 4 up the table and giving ball in hand to Mal. I can only think it was a complete brain fart of some description. He might be able to tell us that later on if he can remember, but Albie's won the first 7 racks, and each time in these 5 racks that Mal has won has all been from the generosity of Albinario, because it's 5 racks on the board that have all come about from mistakes or one thing or another by Albinario, and Mal's done what's been asked of him. Simple as that. Well, it looked to me he just pushed the 4 up the table. Anyway, doesn't matter. It didn't work out. And Albinario's gone back into hiding here. He's got Mal locked up. And these balls, they're all on, which adds to the pressure. And Mal trying to just nudge the 8 towards the 6 just to make it awkward, which he has done. The 2 ball obviously goes into the left middle pocket. Now Albinario, I think Mal hasn't seen this problem, because if Albinario gets to here or to here, he can smack into them, open them up, and he should still be in the 3. So that's the one issue dealt with that 6 and 8. And if he needs to hold the line though, that will do it. So Albinario is going to take care of the problem immediately here. And Mal hasn't seen that. You know, there's the problem gone. And everything's now ready to be snapped up here by Albinario. Now this is now a difficult shot. He's just got to make sure he gets the pace right, that he can still see the 5 from the right side here, I think, from this angle, the way he's playing it. It's got to go far enough across. That'll do it. Now he can't leave himself a wide angle on this 7 ball. He has to go close, or he has to come back to cut it into the middle, one of the two. Yeah, because he didn't want to play that from the top side. And Albinario, provided he gets on the 9, will be relieved that he's at least rested one rack to stretch the lead back to 3. So maybe Albinario's crisis is over. And all those little sequences of errors, giving all those racks to Mal. Now goes to 8-5, straight rack. Albinario breaking from where the cue ball appears. I don't think he's got any joy, but Mal has got some joy. But look at that 7 now. The 1 ball's obviously in play, but the 7 and 9 aren't doing anything. There's a tiny gap, but I don't know that gap's enough to work with. It's a pretty tight line to try and make that combo. And we'll soon find out what Mal thinks, because he's on the 3. Is that the 4 that's there in the middle of the table? Now if he can get a line on the 4, he could do, well, that 6 ball could be in the way. That's the one that might ruin this for him. He could try running round and split them, and he might have a shot in the 5. So that opportunity's gone. And he's going to, well, he's got another 2 goes at it. He could try doing something here, but he really wants to get in the 6 in such a way that he can go 2 rails and go into the 7 and 9. And he can do that from the right side as long as he leaves himself a high enough angle. You know, somewhere up here would be ideal, or like that. He can work with that. He can either run to the rail and go into them, or he can dig into it and just try and draw into them. He's going to the rail. He's got the little chip. Not a bad outcome. Dealt with the problem. Pressure on the pot though. And there's the mistake. You know, it was not a gimme, that 7 ball. And Mal doesn't. Mal, you know, his rhythm is so quick that he's not going to stand and debate that 7 ball. He's just going to get down and play it. But that's a very good opportunity gone. And what's more, it's painful with Albinario winning the last rack and being gifted this next one to open the gap to 4. So Mal's revival includes, well, has been it's been snuffed out at the moment, and a self-inflicted damage rack, that one there. It's 9-5 to Albinario. Yeah, the 7 ball was not a gimme. Anything like a blind pocket shot. They're always a testy one. I mean, probably the other 9 times out of 10 he would have got that, no problem. So, Albinario with the break. Breaks dry. We've got a 7 and 8 locked up on the right side. Everything else out in the open. So again, we have the issue to be dealt with by whoever gets into the table. So when this 1 ball goes, that'll really give whoever gets in first choice at, excuse me, I've got the hiccups again, at dealing with this issue. Well, there's a gap between the 5 and 6 to bring this cue ball down behind the 9. And if he gets the pace right, can leave the 1 sort of in the middle of the table, or maybe over behind the 7 and 8. Depending on the pace of shot here. But the line looks reasonably good to go hiding that way, but Albinario's not interested. I think that 1 pots between the 4 and 6, but can he see it? Yes, he can. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Not easy at all. Now, this is where Mal can take the opportunity. Well, he's gone the wrong side of the 2. He wanted to be taking this line, and he's finished on the short side of the 2. He should have been up here to try and nudge into the 7 and 8 and still be on the 3. So he's going to have to work out something different, and he's running out of balls to do it. That's the problem. But if he doesn't get the angle to break these up, he can always leave Albinario in trouble. That's always the sort of the last option he would use. And this time though, he can certainly break them. But once again, he's left a really pressure shot here on this 6 ball. And he's played it well. Now, wrong side of the 7. He can let this run around. And he's brought it back with the right hand spin. And another sigh of relief for Mal. Just to stay in touch with Albinario. (9-6). That's tilting slightly right. And a ball goes in. And Albinario, a shot in the one, and everything on. 6 ball is gone, and everything there on a plate for him. At this level of the game, this is why it's so difficult to find your way back in a match when you've had such a start, such a strong start from Albinario to build up that lead. It's amazing that Mal's actually got 6 racks on the board, considering how it started. But as I say, you get loads of help from Albi. Mal getting that last rack. He's now sitting with absolutely nothing he can do unless Albinario makes a howler. By the way, good evening to Larry if you're sitting there in the corner keeping quiet, trying to keep a low profile. But it all went downhill for you as soon as I entered the room. Well, I'll be trying to drag all the pace off the cue ball to hold some sort of line in the 7. And this is another one threatening to go a bit pear-shaped. This is another difficult one. Again, he's played it pretty well. If only that he's slightly straight. Now, he could go loads of top, loads of power, all the way around the angles and follow right through on this. He's thinking of jacking up, but the safest shot is to go all the way forward, get it amped up, or leave the bedhead cut, which I would never do. I would always let it run and risk the scratch than play something at that distance. I wouldn't have any faith in my ability to see the edge of that 9. Albinario does, and he's now in double figures, and he's back to a 4 rack lead. And Mal simply has to get a ball in a shot, at least get control of the table, and having to find a way back in it again. You know something, loads of balls move, but nothing's going in again. And Albinario has got a start, and the safety net at the moment is your 6 and 8 ball on that left side as we look. Mal must be praying that Albinario can't get there. Considering where the 5 is, it's going to be a tall order for Albinario to construct a run out here. But once again, he may well, I think he might have, he's gone a bit straight in this 3. He's going to have to try and find a way to get an angle in the 4 to get good on the 5. I think he's gone straight. He's just quite content to draw it by the look of it. Well, I don't see any other way he's going to get to this 6 other than end up playing a safety. That's off the rail. He's going to go big time, I think. Oh, the line looks good. How's his luck? Nothing doing. Is he going to line up the bank? This could double bank this 6 ball, but not going for it. He's looking to tuck behind the 7. And he's just a wee bit short. But this is so difficult now for Mal to leave this safe other than just push the 6 to the 8 and not open anything out. I don't think he's got many other alternatives. There's not an awful lot of places to try and hide a cue ball here. Well, he's played into the 8. He's just brought the 6 into play, and he's pretty much giving the rack away there. I don't know, I mean, if you're really at a loss for how you're going to play safe, then I would have cross-banked that 6-ball. I would have just slammed it and let it run across and hopefully it went into the middle. It would have been desperate, but that would have at least aiming to get it into a hole. Oh, that's a poor one from Albinario. The big overcut in the 7. And again, Mal has been gifted a slim chance of getting back into this from Albinario. And it's just carelessness. Got to stay 100% focused on the job in hand, and his mind's wandering slightly here. Trying to get cute and holding the pace off that, and he hasn't got the ball to the hole. And Albinario breaking off in rack number 18. It looks dry to me, and this time Mal has got a start. And that 3-ball will go. It's tight, but it will go. It can certainly be pushed past the 5 and cheated into the pocket. And it will go past the 9 down this side as well. So you might want to try and get the top side of it. Well, I think this is make or break, this shot here. If you can tuck this away down the rail and get on the 4, he should be home and dry. Again, he's gone to that dodgy line on the 4. It's a blind pocket shot, but in it goes. Now, fairly straightish. Got to get it odds on, because if it doesn't go straight to that hole, it's going to rattle in the jaws. And now we're at distance, but loads of room to get out and across to the left. But once again, it's been the error from Albinario. And this is as close as Mal has been in this match since Albinario went 2-0 up and then went 7-0 up. It's going to be back to within 2 for Mal. And now things begin to get interesting. It'll get even more interesting if Mal can get a ball and a shot here. Oh, the 7 thought about it, the 9 thought about running into the 7. And it's dry. And Albinario now, well, he's got a choice to make here. Oh, this is not a good starter. It's not what you would like, but in it goes. Needs to get lucky in the 2, and he has done. And what's more, if he can just find the gap. Now, the gap's either there or the safer gap is here to get on that 3. Because it cuts past the 5. There's no worries in that score. But this is a delicate one. And he just dragged the pace off it. And, well, it was the pace that let the 2-ball drop in. Oh, he's brushed the 5. And Mal must have leaped out his seat there and bumped his head in the ceiling. Not leaped, leapt. Get the grammar correct. Now that little nudge in the 5 has just tucked it away slightly, and it makes it more difficult to get good in the 5. Got to run up and down into the wide open spaces. He's fine. Now let's have a quick look at this 9, because you know what we know about these 9 balls, and that ball is on the rail, it's frozen, and Mal Mal needs to get very good on this 9-ball. He needs to be nailed to the rail to be able to play this in a straight line to the pocket, because he doesn't want to be cutting this if he can help it. And, well, that's not ideal. Now, he's not going to run into the 9, is he? Yes, he is. He's trying to billiard it in and he's trying to improve it. And disaster, absolute disaster for Mal. And that was the problem. The problem was the 9-ball frozen to the rail. Mal getting the wrong line on the 8-ball and then trying to billiard it in, and the cue ball is scratched, and that is a sore one to take for Mal. He was almost breathing down Albinario's neck, and it's just all went out the window in one shot. And Albinario back to a 3-rack lead. Another dry break, but Mal will be kicking himself there. That's how easy. I mean, even these are all good players, these pair, but the margins are so narrow in getting good and bad on a ball, and the line he had in the 8-ball was just the wrong side of it, and he was always going to be going near the 9, so he decided to run into the 9, try and billiard it in at the same time or improve the situation. But the cue ball has tucked across into the opposite corner pocket. Well, he's going to have to work at it again. Could start with getting a good safety, and that ain't it, I'm afraid. That is not it. And now Albinario's got a fairly reasonable start in the 1-ball, and his pace judgment's usually pretty good, so he should be on the 2. That might be as close as Mal is going to get to Albinario in this match, because that may well have winded him, that scratch. Well, he's got enough room. He's just got to drag and play this as slow as he can. Oh, he's underhit that a bit. He's underhit it. And that's catching the point, and it's hanging up. And Mal breathes again. Oh, where's the cue ball going? Where's the cue ball going? Oh dear. Oh, that's a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. He's overhit that at 100 mile an hour. Just to get the bottom side of the 7. And that is 2 racks that have gone haywire for Mal. It's just amazing what happens. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the 2 racks were in the bag. It was all but over, those 2 racks, and they've gone as quick as a blink. They have just gone south. And Albinario has now got a comfortable lead again. It's 12-8. And Mal breaking off in rack number 21. The 9-ball's gone. Well, that's a relief. The 9-ball's gone, the cue ball stayed in the table, and everything's worked out fine. Well, that's a quick one. And Albinario with a couple of balls in the break, shot in the 1. And the 9-ball's gone as well, and I missed that one. Well, what a response from Albinario. Anything you can do, I can do just the same. It's 13-9. And that 6-ball is not going to get there. It's not holding any line. It's dry for Mal. How's this one ball looking? Well, he can certainly tuck the cue ball away somewhere if he wants. Don't know what he's thinking here. We'll let him play the shot, and then we'll decide whether it was good or bad. He's going all up and down for the bank. Now, can Mal just clip the thin edge on the bottom side of this one and tuck it behind the 3? Get back across the table. He's run into the 9. He's only left a wee bit of the 1 exposed. Now, well, there you go. Up and down and kick the 1, and the 3 goes in off the 9. Well, I think that was a bit artistic, that shot. Mal wasn't interested, but he's left the 1 on. It's going to be hard work. Really hard work here. But Albi said, look at the 3-7. He's maybe looking at a billiard off the 2. Has he got enough room to work with here? Yes, he has. He's looking at a billiard off the edge of the 2, or pushing the 2 onto the 3, onto the 7, onto the rail, and brush the 9 in. Watch this. Well, he hasn't hit it. I don't know whether he actually played it, but Mal's certainly going to be playing it in a minute. He's going to be nudging that 9 in with the 2. It goes in every day of the week. He needs to take a good look at it though. He's going to stun it in. And it's another relatively quick rack for Mal. But he's got to double figures. And Mal just has to hope that Albi stays dry and can give him a shot. Well, he stayed dry, but he hasn't really gave him anything. But it's hard to tell what Mal's going to play. You should be tucking this away. And Albinario has got the guide of the 6 ball for the thin edge and the 1, and get distance on these 2 balls. And if it stays behind the 8, well, it's just crept out. But this is still difficult to play a good safety from this distance. And that's not bad. I think he's partially obscured by the 6. In fact, it's actually better than not bad. Pretty good. Can see an edge in the 1. Now, there is a shot that I like playing here. Thin edge of the 1. Cut it that way to go there. Right hand spin on the cue ball and get the cue ball around. And he's going that line. He's going that line. Where's the 1 ball going though? The 1 ball's gone in. That's not part of the plan. But he had my idea for the safety there. And it's gone a bit dodgy as far as that goes, because he's ended up Chinese snookered over the 3. And he could try and clip this in off the 7, I think. Or try and push it through. Yep. Good shot. Well, this is where you take a risk here. If you're going to thin cut the 5, you're definitely going to hit the 9 and hope you get lucky and get a bounce up the table to see the 4 into the same pocket. He could reverse bank this up the table, but I think it's a thin cut and a run into the 9. He's missed the 9. And what's more, he's chipped to 5. Where's the cue ball ended up though? Goodness me. And Albinario has got himself in a hole. He's played a great shot avoiding the 9. He's chipped to 5, brought it off the rail, and he's landed behind a 7. And Mal will be ready to pounce like a coiled spring. He'll be. And Albinario's not found a line at all there. I don't know whether he maybe did a bit of English in the cue ball there, because he's hit the 8. And Mal won't be caring about that. He'll just be concentrating fully to take these out. And once again, for the second time, well, strictly speaking, for the third time in the match, get back to within 2 racks. So the match has been on for an hour and 14 minutes, or thereabouts, just probably short of that. Bearing in mind it was a couple of minutes late in starting. And the line on the 8 ball is fine. Just run it through and follow it through. You know, try to stun this, is he? Well, he's going for the big draw. And again, I don't know why he's done that. I don't know why he's done it. He's maybe been worried he was going close to the 9, but he did not want to be there. And this is a gift of a chance that he's almost blown here. Oh, that's a good shot. Desperately needed that shot, but did not want to finish there on the 9. But a very good rescue there from Mal, and now he has the break. Needing a ball, and it's not happening. Where's the 6 ball going? No, little brush off the 4, and he can tuck the 1 down the rail. Well, this has to be good though. It's just holding its line. And now the important one, 2 to 3, and he should be out. Now, this is just a bit awkward. He wants to just leave it long for safety's sake, not taking any risks, and looking to get to within 1 of Albinario. And suddenly a 7-0 lead at the beginning looks a way long back in the distance. Well, it's a big distance between the cue ball and the 8, so he's going to have to get the big draw. And he will be within 1 of Albinario, so now the pressure changes definitely with Albinario's break to try and keep that 2 rack gap, to try and bring it back to the 2 rack gap. Bringing the cue ball up to the line this time. Nothing doing, and if the cue ball keeps running, which it hasn't done, it's left a thin cut for Mal, but he's going for it. But look at where he's ended up. And he's totally forgotten about getting the cue ball out for the 2, and now he's put himself in trouble. And he's missed a hit, and they're all there, and it's just going the wrong way for Mal when he needs it to work for him, and he's self-inflicted damage there with that cut in the 1. And Albinario is now the favourite to open that gap to 2 again. I don't see where the problem is. They're all there. It's going to be a careless shot. that's going to cost Albinario here. Yeah, just a little drawback. Doesn't need to do much with it. So a reminder to any latecomers, there's been a couple of results earlier today. Bill won out against Larry, and was it Mooncake beat Acero in a final rack decider, and they're both one-loss side matches. There's another match scheduled for tomorrow, I think. I think it's tomorrow at 1 PM British Summer Time. I won't be there for that, I'm working. Yeah, I won't be able to get that. I don't finish work till 2 tomorrow, so I won't be able to stream it. Monday's always my longest day at work. So here we are, deep into this match, race to 18, Albinario from Sweden with a 2-rack lead again against Mal from England. And Mal looking to try and kick this one in. He's missed the one. That's 2 kicks he's had and missed the ball. And the one bit of a lifeline is that brush off the 8 there, because he just pushed the 8 onto the 3. And Albinario's given it a good look, because that 3 looks dead to me into the pocket. And Albinario's given it some serious thought as to what to do here. Now, the obvious thing is he's on the 2. He's got maybe far too shallow an angle on this 2 to do an awful lot. Well, your guess is as good as mine as to what he's thinking here, because I have not got a clue. I mean, he can only see a third of the 3 ball, which limits anything you can do with this shot. Well, you can do that though, and pretty much marry the cue ball to the 8 ball. That's excellent. Yeah, I'm surprised he was still able to play something like that, because he could only see a portion of the ball. Once again, the end result is Mal's missed the kick. And now that the situation has been improved by the 3 and 8 being opened up, Albinario's got ball in hand to complete the deal for this rack. And Mal is running out of racks. But it's such a long, hard struggle to somehow find a way back into a match when you were 7-0 down. Loads of encouragement from Albinario. And Mal, I think, will be surprised that he's at least got 12 racks on the board, because it certainly didn't look like that early on. It didn't look as if he was going to get anything until... well, Albinario must have put his ABBA records on or something. Something distracted him. Because he let Mal get a start and get back into it. I don't know whether that was the healthiest of outcomes there. He's nudged the 8 and he's nudged it dead. It won't go past the 9. Looking to come down to the bottom rail. to play the billiard onto the 9. That's the plan here. And I don't know that that's ideal. Let's have a look. Well, the 8 doesn't go, so he's looking to just tuck into the 9 here. No, he's played the billiard. I didn't think he could get there, but that was well done. Looked a bit tight. But it's 3 racks to the good and 3 racks away from round 5. Albinario's break has given him a ball, but he's got no shot. The 6 is gone, but everything is there. So Mal will have an option here. Albinario is calling the push, and if Mal doesn't like the position that's left, he can choose to put Albinario back at the table. And that's a difficult decision to make here. This has obviously got nothing there for Mal. And what's he thinking? He's going for the thin cut into the middle. He's pushing the boat out now. He's pushing it out big time with that shot. But it would be so difficult to get a good safety from where he was placed by Albinario. It was a good push out. And Mal's just went all out trying to thin cut that one ball, and he's going to elite racks with that at the wrong time in the match, I'm afraid. It was an all or nothing shot on that cut. Well, Albinario making sure he could get a good sight in the 3. Everything's going to be long. Now, is Albi going to take a risk here? I think he's a bit straight. He can maybe try and pinch a wee bit, but he can try and run into the 8. No, he's not doing it. So, he's seen something better than I've seen. Because that 8 doesn't look as if it's got much room to do anything past the 9. So, let's see what he does. Well, that isn't it. So Albinario is either lining up a very thin cut, which it looks to be, or a bank. It looks like the cut. And it goes. And he's got a shot in the 9. So, rescued the situation well there. Good evening to Slim. And Albinario now in a very strong position again. It's back to 4. He only needs 2. And Mal needs a bit of divine intervention, I think. But he ain't getting any help. It's dry. I don't think the 1's on. I don't think there's enough of it to get to the potting angle in the 1. And the pace just a wee bit heavy. But Mal taking the option of the combo. It's going to have to be very thin in this 1. That's well played, but look at the cue ball. It's all running loose and it's gone. And now Mal has to rely on Albinario struggling to get anywhere on this 3 ball. And he's having a look again at a billiard. This again looks too tight for me. If he's looking to play some sort of billiard off the 3 onto the 9, it doesn't look as if there's enough room. He could obviously try and run, pot the two and run to get the split. Yeah, your prediction is looking good at the moment. In fact, it's probably too generous. I think Mal's going to struggle to get to 15. And meanwhile, Mal hasn't remapped his replay button. Not Mal, Albinario. And Albinario trying to drop the bottom side of the 3, which he has done. He's forgotten about the 2, and he's got safe with it as well. And this is just the wrong side, and Mal scratched it off it again. Well, he can't get a break. And Albinario now, with ball in hand, should be able to get much better onto this 3. Just again looks as if he's trying to just drop bottom side, anywhere bottom side to see up the table. Is he going to get there? Oh, again, that's not it. I mean, he doesn't have to play this, he can still put Mal in trouble. But the 5's very adjacent, so it's all out for the pot. And it's sweet as a nut. But he's going to have to force this one as well. He's pretty straight in the 5. Got to get this some action into the cue ball, and he needs to get enough to be able to get past that 7 ball. It needs to keep going, and that is perfect. Pretty nigh perfect anyway. The only problem is he's got that little high cut, so up and down the table. This is the one that can end up going wrong, and it's really the only lifeline Mal has in this rack, is how Albinario finishes with the cue ball. Up and down. How's the pace? He's going to finish top side, but is he top side into the middle or long? And it's going to be the bottom corner. Well, he's looking around. What's he doing? Yeah, he's definitely going bottom corner. I think he might have been worried about trying to run the cue ball through there, that it was going to run to that middle pocket on the right, so he stunned it and he's left a dodgy cut in the 8. Or that just going to hold its line? It is. And so Mal mounted to climb. Albinario 1 away from round 5. And Albinario with the break. The break's dry. They're all on. Mal should run out. Well, these are just consolation racks for Mal at the moment. The dry break, all the balls sitting waiting. Mal can only do what's asked of him there. Well, there's still a chance that Mal could end up with Cobra's total that he's given him. Cobra called it 18-15 to Albinario. And Mal's still going to need a bit of assistance to do that though. Now, whose break is it? Mal that can't buy a break and a shot, or a ball and a shot. Yeah. Why change the habit of the night? Same again. No ball, no shot for him, but Albinario stared at the one ball. Two ball is a bit of a problem. Leaving in the short side. And again, another testy little cut in this too. Also, the issue is the closeness of the three ball and the line the cue ball's taking. Well, you've got to be 100% committed to play this shot where you're just getting it dead weight like that to still at least give yourself half a chance in the three, and he's played it well. The problem now, of course, is up table for the four, but getting down and good on this five. This is the one, and Albinario's gone top side of the four. These are always the ones you don't want. Now he could, I think he's got too much angle. I was looking to see whether he could drop over the right side from this shot. He's trying to just drop down past the middle pocket to get there, and he's played a great shot. Perfect on the five. So Albinario is just, well, he's now 4 balls away from round 5, and I think this 6 ball is right on the rail. It's frozen to the rail. Well, he's going to have to go around the table here, or around the angles anyway. But, oh, he's hung the 7, but having to manoeuvre the cue ball. Where's this cue ball ended up? And Mal cannot get a break at all. Albinario's missed the 7, and Mal can't get to the 7. He's got to try and spin and hit it. Oh, what a shot. He's pulled one out the bag there, folks. That was a cracker. Hanging on by the skin of his teeth. And Mal goes on to 14. And Albinario back with the break. And this is definitely dry, and the 1 ball is on. The 2 balls in the open at the bottom of the table, 3 and 4 in the middle, 5 is the problem. Now, that 5 ball goes up the table past the 9. It's tight, but there's enough room to cheat the pocket. But how do you get to there? Well, Mal is in between shots here. This is ugly. Oh, he's played that well, but he's knocked to 8 ball safe now. 7 ball is a thin angle to just brush it up the table and roll onto that 8. And for about, must be the 4th time in a match now since he was 7-0 down, and 2-0 down obviously at the beginning of the match, Mal is going to be back to within 2 with no room for manoeuvre and no control over this damn break. He can't get any running on this break at all. Will it work for him now? Yes, Albinario was 7-0 up, hadn't put a foot wrong, and then he started making errors. and Albinario let Mal back into it. Meanwhile, Mal has broke. The 4-ball has gone. Absolutely no shot in the 1. And just a push out, and Albinario might put him back in. I know I would, because when you're sitting on the hill, exactly, Albinario's put him back in. I certainly would, because it's tough to get this safe. It puts pressure on the opponent to come in, so just a double kiss safety, and Albinario will do the same. He should have double kissed it just to bring the cue ball back down to this bottom rail. But he's using the 2 as good cover. That's a good shot. Not difficult to hit. Well, would you believe it? That's 3 attempts at kicks by Mal. He hasn't hit any of them. That's 3 that I can remember counting. That's certainly a third one where he just went clean past it. That was not difficult to hit the 1. The only problem was how close the 3-ball was. And that might be his last shot right there. But it came about from a good safety from Albinario again. Six ball this time is off the cush by a fair little margin. Now where Albinario is here, he doesn't want to be playing this up the table if he can help it past that middle pocket, but he's going to have to. And this is not by no means easy, this shot. And it's went flush past the middle pocket, and he should be home and dry and safely into the next round. And Mal, of course, well, there is somebody waiting over in that 1 loss side, waiting, and somebody coming over from the winner side. We'll have a look at the bracket and see how that shapes up. So Albinario is through, and it was not a comfortable result, but what it was is what Cobra predicted. Cobra said it at the beginning, it would be an 18-15 win for Albinario, and Cobra got it right. And so, Albinario, well, he's going to have to be better than that in getting a 7-0 lead and then watch it fritter away, because it got on a bit of a knife edge towards the end. And Mal, if Mal's break was working and he got a wee bit of running, or a bit more running, it would have been a different result. But you certainly get nothing out of that match. Right, so, quick look across. That should have updated. Where the hell is it? There we are. Mal over to the 1 loss side. Now let's see where he is. Where the hell does he go? Down to the bottom of the top here. There he is. So Mooncake was waiting on someone coming over, and the bad news for Mooncake is it's Mal. So they will have plenty of time to arrange their match. Now the other thing that I mentioned earlier was there is a match. Where the hell is it gone to? Was it in the 1 loss side? I'm sure there was a match scheduled, wasn't there? Did I not say there was a match? Or am I just falling asleep and my brain's half shut down? I'm convinced I saw a match in the bracket where I couldn't be there for it. Yeah, why can't I see it? Because I'm not at it yet, that's why. There it is. So Bill will play Cheeky Chico tomorrow afternoon, British summertime at 1 PM. Which will be like, what, 6 or 7 in the morning for Bill, I would imagine. So if you want to see that match, you're going to have to be in to see it, because I won't be able to get it. I'll be at work, as I say. So with that, guys, some big matches coming up. Hopefully you can join me for them. Hopefully I can get them if they're actually on my day off. my days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, or they're in early evening my time, I can get them. But if they're 1 in the afternoon on a Monday, I'm afraid I can't be there. So anyway, thanks for joining. It was a good match. Unlucky to Mal and Albinario just sneaking through in the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. And hopefully you can join us for some more if I can be there to get them. So until then, guys, thank you all for your company. Do stay safe and take care, and I will see you again soon, and I'll bid you a good night.